As the drama begins, we see an immortal master fighting a powerful dragon. The master is the head of Shinsha Palace, and as the dragon attacks him, he, along with his disciples, tries to fight it. However, the dragon overpowers them, knocking down all the disciples. Fear spreads among them, and the master, growing tired of fighting alone, calls upon his most powerful little disciple for help. We are then introduced to a cute girl named Lucy. She floats in the air and arrives at the scene. Seeing the mighty dragon, she reacts by throwing her scarf toward it. The dragon's power begins to weaken, and Lucy transforms it into a cat. She then lands and scolds the master, saying, "When I left, you created a problem here." One of her fellow disciples, astonished, exclaims, "Little girl, you even took on such a big dragon." Lucy confidently responds, "It's not a big deal. I have tamed many powerful and dangerous creatures before." Lucy Shinshin is the youngest yet most powerful member of the palace, but she has one major flaw: she struggles to control her immense power. The master sighs and says, "You have learned to control animals, but you have not yet learned to control your power." Lucy smirks and replies, "Who told you I can't control my power?" She raises her hand, and suddenly, the palace's walls crack. She bursts into laughter and quickly says, "That wasn't my intention." Frustrated, the master turns away and starts walking inside. Lucy chases after him, pleading, "At least listen to me." She then asks, "Master, controlling one's power is the most difficult task. Is there a trick to it?" The master responds, "First, you should go down the mountain and perform good deeds to increase your merit points. Second, keep your mind clear. And lastly, learn to calm your heart. If you follow these, you will naturally gain control over your power." Lucy, appearing confident, exclaims, "That sounds easy." She grabs her treasure-filled suitcase and asks, "Is this enough? If I help people with this, will I gain control over my power?" The master shakes his head. "That is not enough. You must also donate money to people." Lucy looks disappointed and says, "I can help people, but I don't have money." "How will I donate?" The master smiles and asks, "Who told you that you have no money?" He then shows her a document and explains, "You are the daughter of the Shan family. Once you reclaim the Shan family's property, you will become rich and can donate as much as you want." He continues, "Before your mother passed away, she entrusted the Shan family's fortune to your uncle, hoping he would take care of it. Now that you are 18, you must go and reclaim your rightful property. As you donate and help others, your merit points will increase, and you will achieve everything you desire." Lucy sighs and says, "What a troublesome task." Determined, she sets off down the mountain and approaches a man, asking, "Would you like to know your future?" The man, thinking she is a scammer, pretends not to hear her and walks away. Lucy then tries talking to another man, but he is busy and ignores her. Finally, she forcibly starts predicting the future of a third man. Annoyed, the man asks, "Can you make me rich?" Lucy, looking disappointed, replies, "No." The man scoffs and tells her to leave. Lucy then realizes, everyone wants money. If I don't have any, how will I gain merit? First, I need to reclaim my property. Meanwhile, on the same mountain, a wealthy man named Mr. Jane arrives with his son, James, and his assistant. The assistant turns to Mr. Jane and says, "Sir, you claim to know every corner of this mountain and where Master James lives." Mr. Jane nods confidently. "Yes, I know everything. If we reach Shang Palace, we can meet the master." The assistant looks around and says, "This mountain is huge. How will we ever find Shang Palace?" Mr. Jane explains that he has come in search of Master James because his mother is gravely ill, and he hopes that the master can cure her. However, his son James, a skeptic, interjects, "Dad, we live in the 21st century. We believe in science, not immortals." Mr. Jane counters, "The end of science is physics, but Master James is an expert not only in medicine but also in metaphysics." The assistant, intrigued, responds, "If that's the case, we should definitely find him." As the drama continues, Chan is passing by when he asks Mr. Chan, "Do you know the way to Shagging Palace?" Lucy interrupts, "What do you need to do there?" Mr. Chan replies, "My mother is ill, and I want to meet Master James so that he can cure her." Lucy confidently says, "There is no need for that." She casts a spell, takes out a book, and instructs, "Place this on the patient so that they wake up. If the patient reads the mantra written on it 49 times, they will be completely healed." Upon seeing the book, everyone is skeptical of its authenticity. James tells his father, "We should seek help elsewhere." This girl doesn't even know the way. He then leaves with the assistant. Lucy, realizing her merit could be divided, understands that if she insists on staying, Mr. Chan will not listen to her. Having already gained experience speaking to a few people, she decides to demonstrate her abilities. Just as Mr. Chan is about to leave, Lucy calls her pet, a small gray dragon named Little Gray. She happily rides it away, leaving Mr. Chan staring in shock. When Mr. Chan's assistant and James return, they ask, "Where did the little girl go?" Mr. Chan is speechless, still looking up in awe. The assistant scoffs, "We told you she was a fraud." "Let me throw away this book." Mr. Chan slaps him and declares, "She is not a fraud. She is truly immortal. With the help of this book, I can heal my mother." Meanwhile, Lucy, sitting above and listening to everything, muses, "If I rely solely on fate, I will get nothing." She then resolves, "First, I need money. If I donate money, my merit will increase." She pulls out a map and starts searching for her uncle's location. On the other side, Mr. Chan and James arrive at the hospital and enter Grandma's ward, where Mr. Chan's younger brother, Mr. Mo, is already present with his wife. Mr. Mo sneers, "You claim to love mother so much, yet you've been absent while she was ill." James retorts, "Dad didn't go on a leisure trip. He was searching for someone to heal Grandma." "This is an immortal book." Grandma, touched, asks, "Do you take responsibility for my complete recovery?" James confidently replies, "Yes." Mr. Mo smirks, "If mother doesn't recover, then you must make me the president of the company. Transfer all your shares to me, and I will become the head of the family." Henry gets angry and starts fighting with his uncle, but Mr. Chan intervenes and says, "I accept the deal." Brother-in-law, doubting the book's legitimacy, tries to stop his father, but Mr. Chan insists, "Immortals never lie." Mr. Chan places the book on his mother, and a golden light emerges. As everyone watches in amazement, the light fades, but Grandma Chan remains unconscious. Mr. Mo sneers, "Fulfill your promise, transfer your shares to me." Mr. Chan, a man of his word, nods. "Once I give my word, I keep it. I will make you the head of the family." Just then, Grandma wakes up, sits up, and begins reading the mantra from the book. Everyone rejoices. Mr. Mo, realizing he has lost everything, accuses, "You performed black magic on mother. That's why she's doing this." He calls the guards, ordering them to capture and eliminate James and Mr. Chan. Suddenly, they are stunned as their mother transforms into a 12-year-old girl, completely healed. Mr. Mo, shocked, blurts out, "Who are you? You look ridiculous." Grandma slaps him and scolds, "Have you forgotten? Until the age of 10, you used to wet the bed." She starts recounting his childhood memories. Embarrassed, Mr. Mo relents, "Okay, I accept that you are my mother. Just don't tell anyone my secrets." Grandma slaps him again and declares, "I heard everything you said. How dare you try to bully your own family?" She then asks, "Who helped heal me?" James, amazed, responds, "Grandma, not even doctors could do what that immortal did." Grandma turns to Mo and commands, "Take your guards and leave. Otherwise, I will throw you out of the family myself." Mo and his wife leave, frustrated. Outside, his wife reminds him, "Don't forget, today is the Shan family and Chan family contract signing. We can take money from them in exchange for signing the contract." Excited, Mr. Mo heads toward the deal. Back in the hospital ward, the assistant enters and, seeing Grandma Chan, asks, "Where did Grandma go? And who is this young girl?" James explains, "This is Grandma." Mr. Chan, still in awe, tells the assistant, "This is the miracle of that immortal. Go and find her, we must repay her." The assistant nods. "We will go find her later with the Chan group. We have to sign the contract. They have arranged a party, so let's go there first." Grandma Chan also says, "I also want to go to the party." In the next scene, we see that the party of the Shin family is going on, and they are happy that their contract is going to be signed with the Chan family. Chan's uncle, Mr. Dong, is very happy with his wife and daughter. Lucy arrives, and the Shin family tells her to leave the party without any reason. Lucy says, "I am not a stranger. I have come back to take my inheritance." Everyone is shocked to hear this and asks, "What are you talking about?" Lucy responds, "I am Shan Zhang, the daughter of Shen's. My great-grandfather signed an agreement with Master Jijuan. You should see it. Master has given me the agreement. According to it, my grandfather wrote that when I turn 18, the property of the Shan family will be in my name, and I have come back to take everything that belongs to me." Mrs. Dong tells her, "You are a liar. What proof do you have that you were Shen's daughter? Lucy starts taking out the papers, but Mrs. Dong says she is a liar. Guards, take her out. The guards come inside and start moving toward Lucy, but they fall far away without her even touching them. Everyone is shocked. Lucy takes out the papers and gives them to Mrs. Dong. Mr. Dong examines the agreement and says, "This is really Grandpa's handwriting." His daughter, Jojo, interjects, "The agreement could be fake." Mr. Dong agrees, "Yes, in today's time, it is not a big deal to forge a fake agreement." However, Mrs. Dong realizes that the agreement is real. She says, "Your mother has died, and whatever belongs to the Shen family now belongs to my husband. You will not get anything." The Shan family refuses to transfer the property to Lucy. Lucy responds, "Okay. If you refuse to transfer the property to my name, I will take it by force." She continues, "Don't you people know what Master Jishan did to the Shen family?" Mr. Dong calls the guards. Lucy says, "I am not in the mood to fight. You people should leave." She then asks Dong, "Will you transfer the property to my name or not?" Grandfather arrives. Dong whispers to him, "This girl is Shen's daughter, and she claims that she wants to reclaim the property." Grandfather says, "You are the same girl who was adopted by that toy master." Lucy responds, "Think before you speak. You cannot use such words about my master." Grandfather replies, "We did not ask Master Jishan to come and help us. He adopted us himself. So yes, but I am not grateful to him." Lucy says, "All of you are selfish." Grandfather says, "You should remove the thought of property from your heart. Whatever belonged to the Shen family has already been transferred to Jojo's name. Go back to your village and feed the cows and goats there." Mrs. Dong adds, "My daughter Jojo is going to sign a contract with the Jane Group. Today, she will become a billionaire." Lucy gets angry and says, "Have you people forgotten what my master did for the Shen family?" She then turns to Grandpa Shen and asks, "Have you forgotten that you were about to die? My master confronted the shaman and changed your fate. It was his favor. How could you forget so soon?" She continues, "If the Shen family is rich today, it is all because of my master." Mr. Dong asks, "Are you saying that your master is Master Shishan?" Lucy replies, "Yes, I have come from Shinshin before." Mr. Dong then tells his father, "It seems this girl is speaking the truth, and if we don't listen to her, the heavens may be angry with us." But Grandpa Shin scoffs, "What do I care about this agreement or Master Shishan?" He then tears the agreement and throws it into the air. Suddenly, the evil force that Master Shishan had sealed is unleashed, and darkness descends upon the Shin family. Everything starts shaking, and the guests panic. However, Lucy remains completely calm. The evil spirit attacks Grandpa Shin, causing him to fall to the ground. The Shin family watches in horror. Mr. Dong, now terrified, tells his father, "This girl is telling the truth. The heavenly king of hell is against you, and he will punish us." Grandpa Shin stubbornly refuses to believe it. "This girl is lying. Why would the king of hell come after us?" Lucy smirks and says, "This is just the beginning. Just wait and see what happens next." Grandpa Shin glares at her and says, "Are you cursing me?" Lucy replies, "I don't need to. Fate has already decided." Just then, Mr. Dong receives a phone call from home. When he answers, his face turns pale, and the phone falls from his hand. He exclaims, "There's a power outage at the villa, and a fire has broken out. Everything has been burned to the ground. The only thing we have left is the company." Jojo, in shock, says, "How can this be possible?" Lucy replies, "This happens when you keep something that doesn't belong to you." She then turns to Grandpa Shin and says, "Your master gave you that pendant for protection, but it will no longer save you." Grandpa Shin scoffs, "I don't know your master. This pendant protects me from bad luck. Your curses will have no effect on me." Lucy laughs at his words. Suddenly, the pendant tightens around Grandpa Shin's neck and begins to strangle him. He gasps for air and starts running in fear. Mrs. Dong, now frightened, exclaims, "Who knows? Maybe heaven is punishing us. You should listen to her, or you might get hurt." But Grandpa Shin ignores his family. The pendant shatters and falls to the ground. Mr. Dong rushes to get a chair for his father. Grandpa Shin sits down, breathing heavily, while Jojo tries to reassure herself. "Whatever happened today was just an accident," she says. "We won't be punished. We may have suffered a loss today, but once we sign the contract with the Chan Group, we will be rich again. Buying another mansion is not a big deal for us." Lucy smirks and says, "The contract will not be signed." Just then, Mr. Mo and Mrs. Mo arrive. Jojo quickly approaches them and says, "Uncle, you should not trust anyone else. You must not break the contract with us." Mr. Mo calmly replies, "When did I say I came to break the contract?" Then, with a sly smile, he signals that he will sign the contract in exchange for money. Mr. Dong, relieved, hands him a bank card. Mr. Mo takes it and says, "Now, I will sign the contract." Jojo looks at Lucy smugly and says, "See? You're a liar. Our contract is going to be signed." Lucy shakes her head and says, "You're trusting the wrong person. He has no real authority in the Chan family." Turning to Mr. Mo, she adds, "Do you wish to die? You're playing with forces beyond your control." Mr. Mo glares at her and says, "Are you threatening me?" Lucy replies, "I'm just telling you the truth. If you don't stop this, your bad luck will get you thrown out of the Chan family." Mr. Mo, angered, raises a stick to strike Lucy, but Lucy calls out, "Little Gray." Suddenly, her pet transforms into a mighty dragon. Everyone gasps in terror as the enormous creature towers over them. Mr. Mo falls to the ground. Lucy looks at him and says, "Little Gray, this place is too small for your transformation. You didn't need to reveal yourself." Hearing this, the dragon turns back into a small cat. Everyone is shocked, but Mr. Mo scoffs, "That was just an illusion. The cat never turned into a dragon." He gets up and steps forward, trying to intimidate Lucy again. Lucy strikes him, the crowd gasps, and someone shouts, "Little girl, do you even know who he is?" "He is a member of the Chan family." Another voice yells, "You have to kill him or die." Lucy calmly faces Mr. Mo. A golden light flashes from her eyes. She smirks and asks Little Gray, "Will you make him your grandson?" Mr. Mo trembles upon hearing her words. Lucy laughs. "Look at you, you scared my pet. And look at your bad luck, you've become my pet's grandson." Then she asks Little Gray, "Will you accept him as your grandson?" The cat turns its face away. Lucy bursts out laughing. "See? Even he doesn't consider you his grandson. He doesn't even like your face." Furious and humiliated, Mr. Mo starts slapping the members of the Shin family. "This girl has been humiliating me for so long. Why are you all just standing there? Do something." The Shin family calls the guards. Lucy looks at the guards and warns them, "Calm down, or things won't end well for you." One of the guards looks at her and mutters, "She's kind of hot." Suddenly, Lucy's eyes glow, sending a powerful wave through the air. The guard, as if possessed, turns around and punches Mr. Mo. Another guard follows suit and hits him as well. Lucy controls everyone, and soon, all of them begin attacking Mr. Mo. "Will you kill me?" Mr. Mo gasps in pain. One of the guards, still under Lucy's control, replies, "We have no control over ourselves." Then he punches Mr. Mo even harder. Lucy watches, amused, as Mr. Mo suffers. She bursts into laughter. Just then, Grandma Chan enters the scene. Her voice echoes across the hall. "Do you people want to die at my party?" Everyone immediately stops and turns to look at her. Mr. Mo, bruised and breathless, looks up in relief. "Mom! You're here. Now you'll teach this girl a lesson." Lucy smirks. "Alright, let's see what she does to me." Jojo rushes to Lucy and hisses, "You have no idea of the Chan family's status. You should go and apologize." Lucy crosses her arms. "I have the highest status here. Why should I apologize to anyone?" Frustrated, Jojo runs to Mr. Chan. "Uncle, this girl is claiming to be my uncle's daughter, and look at how she's bullying us." Mrs. Dong adds, "Look at what she did to your brother." Mr. Mo, still in pain, turns to his brother and shouts, "You should kill this girl. She humiliated me." But as soon as Mr. Chan lays eyes on Lucy, he freezes in fear. Lucy notices his reaction and asks, "What's wrong, Mr. Chan?" Trembling, Mr. Chan turns to his mother and stammers, "This is the same girl I told you about. She's immortal. And because of her, you were cured." Grandma Chan's eyes widen, and she glares at her son. She suddenly points at Mr. Mo. "Come here." Slap, Grandma Chan smacks him across the face. "You idiot," she scolds. "Even if someone kills you today, I won't blame them." She then turns to the stunned crowd and declares, "This girl is my savior." Grandpa Shin scoffs and says, "You fool. Why did you slap Mr. Mo? Do you even know that he is a member of the Chan family?" Before anyone can react, Mr. Mo spins around and slaps Grandpa Shin. "You fool. She is my mother." Gasps fill the room. Everyone stares at Mr. Mo in shock. No one can believe that their grandmother, Grandma Chan, is just a 12-year-old girl. Mr. Remo turns to his brother and says, "This girl attacked me. You must kill her." Mr. Chan slaps Lucy. Grandpa Shin speaks up. Mr. Chan is angry. He won't sign the contract, but to everyone's shock, the entire Chan family suddenly bows before Lucy. Grandma Chan steps forward and thanks Lucy. "You saved my life," she says sincerely. Then she turns to her son, "Mr. Remo, she saved your mother's life, so you should apologize and thank her as well." She adds, "And from now on, you can do whatever you want with him." Mr. Remo clenches his fists. "I will not apologize." She practices black magic. Grandpa Shin nods in agreement. "Yes, we saw it with our own eyes." She knows black magic. Grandma Chan's face darkens with anger. Just then, Grandpa Shin receives shocking news. "The Jin family is breaking all contracts with us." He turns to Mr. Remo. "I'm taking back your shares." "You will get nothing from this family," Mr. Chan smirks. "The Shin family has nothing left now. Lucy, you should come stay at our house. This is how we will repay you." Lucy thinks for a moment. "Everyone says the Shin family is the richest here. If I go with them, I can build relationships." She smiles. "Yes, I'll go with you." The Chan family takes her in, while the Shin family breaks down in tears. "We're ruined," someone wails, but Mr. Remo remains unfazed. He turns to Jojo. "We won't be ruined. Come with me, I'll introduce you to someone." They go to meet Mr. Shu, a man even richer than the Chan family. Mr. Shu greets them with a smirk. "My brother and nephew did not come to pay you respect, but I came to you on my own." Then he leans in and adds, "My brother has become arrogant ever since he found a book that healed our mother." Mr. Shu's eyes widen. "How is that possible?" "The doctors said she could never be cured." Mo chuckles. "Not only was she cured, but she has become a little girl." Mr. Shu is stunned. "That's impossible." Jojo nods. Everyone at the party saw Grandma Chan. "She really has become a little girl." Shu looks serious now. "How did this happen?" Mr. Remo lowers his voice. "My brother found a little master. She's the one who did it. I saw it with my own eyes. She even has a cat that can turn into a dragon." Shu's eyes gleam with greed. "If I get that girl, no one will be able to compete with me in the future. I will become the richest man alive." He turns to Mr. Remo. "Bring that girl to me." Mr. Remo hesitates. "If you make me the president of Chan Group and cooperate with me, then I will gift you the girl. And give you 20% of the shares." Shu scoffs. "Do you think I'm a fool? I don't want 20%. I want 60%, fearfully." Mr. Remo nods. "Why yes," Shu smirks. "Until you bring the girl to me, I will keep Jojo with me as a guarantee." Mr. Remo signals Jojo, and she happily agrees to stay with Shu. Scene change. The Chan family brings Lucy to their house as James, however, remains unimpressed. He still doesn't believe she is a true master. "You turned my grandmother into a child," he says, crossing his arms. "But her height is too short. We don't like it." He glares at Lucy. "If you really have powers, then turn her back to her original appearance." Lucy sighs. "I can't tell him the truth. Until she perfects her abilities, she can't restore Grandma's original form. She can't even restore her own. Instead," she says with a smile, "it's good that Grandma stays like this. Now she will live for another 100 years. James remains skeptical. "Then at least make her taller." Lucy shrugs. "That's not a problem." She waves her hand, casts a spell, and in an instant, Grandma Chan's appearance changes. She now looks like an 18-year-old girl. Chan and James are happy to see her. Grandmother smiles warmly and says, "You are amazing, and we will do whatever you say." Then she turns to Lucy and asks, "Little master, are you married?" Lucy shakes her head. "I am 90 years old, but I don't even know what marriage is." Grandmother claps her hands. "Then my grandson will marry you." James steps back in shock. "Why would I marry her? She's a grandmother." Grandmother scolds him. "She is my savior, so you must marry her." Then she looks at Lucy and asks, "Will you marry him?" Lucy glances at James, who wears a mask over his face. "If my cultivation fails, he will also suffer." But then another thought crosses her mind: if I marry him, I will get money. By donating money, my merit will increase, and I will be able to control my powers. She smiles and says, "Okay." Grandmother is overjoyed. "Good. Now both of you go and get my certificate. James hesitates. Grandma, I am not capable of protecting her yet, Lucy reassures him. There's no problem, I can protect you. James frowns. If we don't have feelings for each other, then we shouldn't get married. Lucy pretends to be innocent. So you don't have any feelings for me? James shakes his head. Marriage isn't a game. If we do it without love, it will be meaningless, just like how that cat doesn't like you. Lucy pouts. Who told you the cat doesn't like me? Seeing Lucy ready for marriage, grandmother quickly arranges the wedding. After the ceremony, Lucy happily says, Grandma, this is a wedding gift from me. She hands over a document. I have transferred a large amount of money in your name. Once the paperwork is complete, the money will officially be yours. Grandmother is touched by the gesture, but Lucy is even happier seeing the money James gifted her. She turns to Mr. Chan as a gift. You will receive 1 million from me. I will prepare the documents and collect them from you later. James protests. We just met. You shouldn't trust her so easily or give away your property, but grandmother insists. We have gotten to know her well, and we trust her. She then tells both of them, now go and rest in your room. In the room, when they enter their room, James places a check on the bed. He looks at Lucy and says, from now on, you will sleep here. Lucy raises an eyebrow. Why should I sleep on the floor? James sighs. Our marriage was forced. I do not accept this marriage. I will only make the woman I truly love my wife. Don't think for a second that I will ever love you, you're not my type. Lucy smirks and sits on the bed. Then tell me, what kind of girl is your type? James crosses his arms. She has to be beautiful and the best warrior. Lucy laughs. I am a disciple of the Shan Palace. What do you think of me? James scoffs. I saw you selling books on the mountain. You cannot be a disciple of the Shan Palace. And I do not consider you a master. He falls onto the bed and closes his eyes. Go sleep downstairs, Lucy huffs. Given my status, making me sleep downstairs is an insult. James ignores her and says, I don't care. Just go. Frustrated, Lucy finally says, fine. I'll sleep outside. As she leaves, James smirks. Good. Go ahead and sleep outside. But later that night, James starts worrying. If Grandma's father finds out she slept outside, what will I tell him? He steps out to check on her. To his surprise, Lucy is sitting on the sofa, practicing cultivation. James watches her for a moment and thinks, who sleeps like this? This girl is such a fool. He shakes his head and walks back to his room. The next morning, James brings Lucy a glass of milk. Last night, were you practicing to become immortal, or were you actually sleeping? He asks. Lucy sips the milk and replies, becoming immortal is not easy. I have to build my merit. Then she adds, since we're married, your money is mine. If we donate some to charity, it will increase my merit, and I will feel better. James looks at her, unimpressed. You shouldn't think like that, Lucy shrugs. We are so rich. If we donate a little to charity, we won't become poor. James shakes his head. Thousands of workers rely on Chan Group. If I keep donating all my money, I will become just another common worker like them. Lucy grins. I married you only for money. What else do I need from you? James stares at her. So you admit it? You married me just for money. Lucy nods. Yes. What's wrong with that? Then she smiles playfully. You give me money, and in return, I will protect you from bad people. James scoffs. I don't need your protection. And I won't give you any money. He stands up and declares, nor will I ever consider this marriage real. Assistant Lee calls James, asking for help. At that moment, James is at the construction site. Before he leaves, Lucy asks, when will you donate the money? And James, in a hurry, ignores her question and rushes to the site. Seeing this, Tan gets angry and orders Little Gray to get ready. The small cat transforms into a mighty dragon, prepared to take her there. Meanwhile, at the construction site, James arrives to find his uncle and a gang leader. Entering Assistant Lee, James steps forward and demands, "Why are you torturing my assistant?" Na smirks and replies, "One of my men died at your construction site. I'm here to take justice for him." Assistant Lee, struggling to stand, explains, "When Na and his men came to the site, they started a fight with our workers. In the chaos, one of his men was accidentally killed." James looks at Na and says, "We've worked together for years. If there's a problem, we can talk. What do you want from me?" Before Na can respond, James' uncle steps forward and says, "Transfer the president's seat and all your shares to my name." He signals his men to close the doors. As soon as they do, they begin beating James. Lucy arrives. Suddenly, Lucy appears at the entrance. She glares at them and says, "Who dares to bully my husband?" James, bruised and in pain, shouts, "Lucy, leave. It's too dangerous here." Na's eyes widen in recognition. "So, this is the girl I told you about," he says, signaling to his men. "Take her down." Lucy's eyes flash. She whispers a command, and her pet cat transforms back into a fierce dragon. Na sneers, "She won't survive today." "Attack her." His men charge forward. But the moment they get close, a powerful force erupts from Lucy's body, sending them flying. James watches in shock. How did you do that?" Lucy smirks. "I told you, I can protect you." Na, furious, pulls out his weapon and strikes the ground. The entire building shakes from the impact. Lucy laughs. "My little Gray will play with your toy." James, alarmed, warns her, "This is no time for jokes. Run from here." Na roars, "Close the doors." James shouts back, "She is my wife. Let her go. If you want someone to kill, take me instead." Na smirks. "All right. You die first." Lucy's power. Lucy steps in front of James. "You won't even be able to touch my finger," she says. Na swings his weapon at her with full force, but to his horror, it doesn't even graze her. He continues attacking, putting all his strength into it, but he grows exhausted. Lucy calmly takes his weapon, breaks it in half, and strikes Na down. He gasps. What kind of power does this girl have? Lucy steps closer and glares at him. "You dared to bully my husband." She crosses her arms. "Slap yourself." Na, trembling, raises his hand and slaps himself. Again. And again. James watches in disbelief as Na repeatedly hits himself. Na falls to his knees. "Forgive me." Just then, Mr. M.O., James' uncle, steps forward and yells, "What are you doing? Mr. Shu will not let you get away with this." Lucy narrows her eyes and flicks her fingers. Mo suddenly drops to his knees before her, gritting his teeth. He growls, "No matter what happens, I will never apologize to you." He glares up at her and continues, "You don't know who I work for. Mr. Shu controls everything. If he commands it, the Chan family will be bankrupt. He's the richest man across 26 cities." James, standing nearby, leans toward Lucy and whispers, "If Shu decides to take action, we will be ruined." Lucy tilts her head. "Then why did you betray your own family and ask someone else to destroy them?" She turns to Little Gray. "Hurt him." The dragon roars and lashes out at Mr. M.O., making him scream in pain. After a moment, Lucy lifts a hand. "Enough. Let him go." Little Gray steps back, releasing him. M.O., clutching his wounds, stumbles to his feet. He glares at Lucy. "Mr. Shu will not let you live." With that, he grabs Jojo and limps away, disappearing into the night. Na is deeply impressed by Lucy. He apologizes to her and says, "I will pay for the treatment of all those who got injured because of me. Whatever crimes I have committed, I will go to the police station, confess, and accept my punishment." Lucy crosses her arms and replies, "That is not enough. To remove your bad luck, you must donate $500,000 every month." Na, relieved, eagerly agrees. Lucy gives him a sharp look. "I will keep an eye on you. If you fail to do this, you will die." Na quickly promises, "I will do exactly as I said." Satisfied, Lucy lets him go. James then tells her, "You should go home. I have some work to do." Lucy smirks. "You once said that many employees work under you, so you must be paying them a salary. If I work in your company, you should pay me a salary too." James frowns. "Just go home. Don't irritate me." Lucy tilts her head and reminds him, "I told you I would protect you, and I did. If you keep me with you, I will bring you luck in the future." James sighs. He has to inspect a piece of land, so he reluctantly takes her along. At the site, Assistant Lee begins explaining the land details. James shakes his head. "This is a waste. We won't buy it. What gold mine are they talking about? The owners are asking for $300 million, which is way too much." Lucy steps forward and says, "We should buy it." "Maybe it really is a gold mine," James scoffs. "Whoever comes here never returns alive." Ignoring him, Lucy moves forward and uses a spell. Suddenly, she discovers that there is a real gold mine hidden beneath the land. Excited, she turns to James. By this land, James refuses. Lucy, frustrated, turns to the assistant. Buy it in my name, James sighs. Fine. If she wants to waste her money, let her. He smirks. I bet this is just a barren wasteland. Nothing valuable will come out of it. Lucy raises an eyebrow. If there is a real gold mine here, then from today, you will sleep on the floor, and I will sleep on the bed. James, confident he will win, accepts the bet. Lucy performs a spell, and suddenly, a massive mountain of gold rises from the ground. James and the assistant are left speechless. Lucy then waves her hand, sending the gold back underground. If it stays above, the price will be too high. She orders the assistant, buy it in my name. Curious, she explores the area, wondering if there are more gold mines. She calls Little Gray, who follows her as she investigates. Little Gray starts feeling thirsty and spots a monk nearby. He flies over to drink water. However, as he drinks, he transforms back into a dragon. James and the assistant witness the transformation and are utterly shocked. After drinking, Little Gray turns back into a cat. James' assistant, still in awe, exclaims, "From today, you are my god and my idol." Lucy, unaware of why he is saying this, turns to James. Let's go home. I'm hungry. Meanwhile, Mr. Mo and Jojo arrive at Mr. Shu's residence. Mr. Shu asks, "Is the work done?" Mr. Mo, visibly shaken, replies, "That little girl ruined our entire plan. Because of her, James didn't transfer his company to me." Mr. Shu's expression darkens. "Then I will have to step in myself." Meanwhile, Mr. Mo and Jojo arrive at Mr. Shu's residence. Mr. Shu asks, "Is the work done?" Mr. Mo, visibly shaken, replies, "That little girl ruined our entire plan. Because of her, James didn't transfer his company to me." Mr. Shu's expression darkens. "Then I will have to step in myself." That night, James sits on the bed, but Lucy reminds him, "You lost the bet, so you sleep on the floor." James ignores her. Without warning, Lucy kicks him off the bed. "If you try this again, I will throw you out of the house." Defeated, James is forced to sleep on the floor. The next morning, they enter the sitting room, where Grandma and Mr. Chen are waiting. Grandma nods knowingly. "I knew Mo would go to meet Mr. Shu. That's why I told everyone that he has no relation to the Chan family." Mr. Chen adds, "The strange thing is that Mr. Shu is throwing a party, and he has sent a special invitation for Chan." Lucy's eyes light up when she sees the invitation card, but James immediately warns her. "This is a trap. You will not go there." Mr. Chen agrees. Many guests saw Lucy at the Shen family's party, so they know about her power. Mr. Shu must have heard everything. He wants to lure her in. Lucy smiles and reassures James, "There's no need to be afraid. I will protect you." James shakes his head. "I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about you." Lucy laughs. "There is no one in this world who can hurt me." At Mr. Shu's grand party, James arrives with Lucy. As they walk in, all eyes turn to them. Whispers spread through the crowd. "Who is that little girl with him? Why are they so close? I heard that some little immortal cured James' grandmother. Could it be that she's the same girl?" As the murmurs grow louder, admiration fills the room. Lucy leans toward James and grins. "See? People are saying good things about me. Aren't you happy that I'm your wife?" James sighs. "You don't need to be so proud." James and Mr. Mo arrive. Jojo glares at them and says, "After everything you did to us, do you even have the courage to face us?" Without hesitation, Lucy slaps both Mr. Mo and Jojo. Just then, a master enters the scene. He looks at Lucy and asks, "Who are you? How do you have so much courage to harm these people?" This master had been called by Mr. Shu to frame Lucy. He was known as Master Jiang, and he carried a mysterious lock. The onlookers gasped, whispering among themselves, "I've heard that thanks to the talisman's boon, he will live forever." Mr. Shu steps forward and smirks. "Master Jiang is a disciple of Marshal Jijuan." Lucy crosses her arms. "If he is my master's disciple, why don't I know about him?" Seeing Mr. He warns Lucy, "He is very dangerous. We don't want to fight him. You should leave," but Lucy remains firm. "I know he is not a disciple of Marshal Jijuan. I need to confirm who he really is and why he is defaming the name of Shan Palace." Seeing Lucy's bravery, Master Jiang hesitates. Lucy looks at him and says, "If I become rude to you, don't blame me." To prove his power, Master Jiang takes out an immortal book. Lucy bursts into laughter. "That's my workbook. I wrote it when I was 8 years old." "How did you even steal it?" Jiang flips through the pages and points at the first page. Look! My name is written here. Mr. Shu leans in and tells Jang, don't listen to her. Start using your tricks. Jang begins performing random magic, but everything goes wrong. He conjures a dark cloud to punish Lucy, but a strong wind starts blowing, causing destruction. The cloud spirals out of control, and a dragon suddenly appears, spewing fire from its mouth. Jang struggles to control it but fails. Lucy steps forward. I will handle this, she calmly calls the dragon toward her. The massive beast obeys, landing in front of her. Go back, she commands, and the dragon instantly obeys. She then opens her purse and says, now, go inside. To everyone's shock, the dragon disappears into her pouch. Gasps fill the air. How did she do that? How do spiritual beasts listen to her? Jang accuses her. You must be using black magic. I am a disciple of Shin Palace. Lucy narrows her eyes. Oh, I remember you now. You once came to the palace, begging my master to make you his disciple. But you had no talent, so you were thrown out. Jang stiffens. You were sad, so I talked to you to make you feel better. Back then, I had this workbook in my hand. I must have given it to you. But when I was learning mantras, I used to write some words upside down by mistake. That book is filled with incorrect mantras. Jang's face pales as Lucy continues. You memorized those words without knowing their real meaning. That's why your magic is failing. Jang clenches his fists. This girl is lying. He suddenly picks up a broken glass, sniffs it, and declares, she has mixed something in the wine. That's why people are acting strangely. There's no such thing as making a dragon a pet. People begin murmuring, starting to believe his words. Jang smirks. You have made a huge mistake. I will call upon Heavenly Rock. He will judge you himself. To impress the crowd, he pulls out a powerful robe. If this robe ties someone, they will turn to ash. Only then will it release them. Yi-chan turns to Lucy and pleads, you should leave. Lucy shakes her head. Let him summon the robe. Stand far away, it won't harm me. But you might get hurt. James steps forward. Even if I die, I will protect you. In my next life, I will marry you again. Jang smirks and throws the robe toward Lucy. James instinctively rushes forward, but the robe begins to strangle him. Jang pushes him aside, sending him to the ground. Lucy catches the robe with her bare hands. The entire crowd gasps. Nothing happens to her. Jang stares in disbelief. Maybe this robe is fake. Lucy shakes her head. It's not fake. It's real. With a flick of her wrist, she uses the robe to bind Jang and his allies. Jang screams, let us go. Just then, his master appears and uses a spell to break the robe's hold, freeing all four of them. Jang turns to his master and says, this girl is claiming that Shin Palace is the disciple of Paris. His master looks at him and replies, yes, I know you are a disciple of Shin Palace. Master Shirshan is nothing in front of me. He cannot compete with my power. One day, he will have to bow before me. Meanwhile, Mr. Shu realizes the shocking truth. Lucy is an immortal master and the true disciple of Master James. Furious, he stabs Jang. You liar! You told me you were Master James's disciple. Jang's master scoffs. Master Shirshan is nothing compared to me. I am far more powerful than him. He then turns to Mr. Mo and Jojo. Our families rose to power thanks to Master John's blessings. He was a gift to us. But this girl burdened us with debt, and now we are ruined. We seek justice. Help us. Chan, who had been suspicious of the immortal master, whispers to James, we should go home. Before they can leave, Jang's master casts a spell and summons a sword. This is the heavenly sword. It will kill you. The crowd watches in awe, bowing before the sword, pleading for its blessing. But Lucy stands relaxed, unfazed. The master glares at her. Are you not afraid of me? Lucy smiles. Why would I fear you? Heaven itself has blessed me. No one can harm me. Furious, the master strikes at her with the sword, but suddenly, the sword vanishes from his grip and falls to the ground. He is stunned. Where did my sword go? He attempts to summon it back, but the sword does not return. Lucy smirks. Do you want to see a real sword? She raises her hand, and a powerful, radiant sword appears. The crowd gasps in shock. The master stares at it, bewildered. Then, what was the sword I had? Lucy steps forward. It was just a toy. The master is speechless. Lucy continues, all the weapons you have been using, they are mine. I don't know how you stole them. When I was young, I created that sword and infused it with a little of my power. I did so to ensure it could only be used for good and that no evil person could wield it. The master trembles, realizing the truth. The sword I struggled for years to obtain was just a toy. The shock overwhelms him, and he collapses, dead. Jang, terrified that Lucy will kill him next, falls at her feet. Forgive me. Decide my fate as you wish. Mr. Mo and Jojo also kneel before her, pleading, please, take our lives. Lucy shakes her head. Did I ever say I would kill anyone? The three look at her in disbelief. Then, how will you forgive us? Lucy calmly replies, donate all your wealth to charity. That is your punishment for all the sins you have committed. All three swear that they will give away their fortune. Lucy turns to Jijuan. I'm hungry. Let's go home. As James walks outside, he calls his assistant. Keep an eye on Mr. Mo and Jojo, he orders, but Lucy stops him. There's no need for that. James looks at her, confused. Lucy continues, he will die in 2 days. James is shocked. What? He will face divine punishment for all his sins. That's why I told him to donate all his money before tomorrow. James is stunned by her words. Lucy smiles. Isn't it better that they do something good before they die? That way, in their next life, they might do good deeds and live a better life. Both of them return home. Lucy goes to change her clothes and, upon looking in the mirror, gasps in shock. Her real face has returned. Overjoyed, she rushes out. James sees her and is stunned. Who are you? How did you get into my room? Lucy laughs. It's me. James is speechless. Lucy explains, when I first learned magic, I made a mistake, and my magic backfired. It transformed me into a little girl. To regain control over my power and restore my senses, I needed marriage. My master told me that I had to go into the world and do good deeds. Only then could I get married. She tilts her head. Do you not like my real appearance? James smiles. I love you no matter what you look like. Lucy chuckles. Well, if we have a daughter, my appearance will never change again. The drama ends with this heartwarming scene. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.